Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I want to share with you guys this story of a woman that ended her husband's life, and she said she did it because she hates marriage, right? Let me read a bit of it to give you guys an idea of what's going on, right? It says the suspect, who was his second wife, allegedly put poison in his food. This is, I think, the police command that was saying this. He explained that as soon as Abba started eating, he began feeling uncomfortable. According to him, the victim was immediately rushed to the state specialist hospital where he was given medical attention but later died. The police boss was said to have deployed men of the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department to arrest the suspect after the incident was reported by the victim's family at the GRA police station. Umar said the police, on arrival at the scene, saw a large number of youth in the neighborhood who stormed the house of the victim with the intention of lynching the suspect. He said the police, however, brought the situation under control. The police commissioner noted that the suspect, in her statement, confessed to the crime, saying she bought the poison from the market after she made up her mind to kill her husband. Okay, I'll just go to the other side. Another aspect, she said, I never wanted the marriage. Goni was my second husband. I got separated from my first husband because I hate marriage. Anytime I wake up with the fact that I am married, it pisses me off. At some point, I had to run to my parents to demand an end to the marriage, but they always sent me back. Did you guys see that? They always sent me back. You know, I tell you guys, in every story out there, there is something for us to learn from. We should learn from other people's stories to prevent it from happening again. Right? Okay, let me read this. Because there are some ladies that are happy to be married. But that one that doesn't want to be married, leave her, let her just go. This idea of family sending her back, if they didn't send her back, this poor guy would still be alive. She didn't even say the guy did anything wrong to her. Okay, let me read the rest of it. Asking me to be patient. At some point, 2 months after I gave birth to my child, I ran away and slept in an uncompleted building for about 2 weeks. I later returned to my husband's house. Not that he didn't treat me well. You see, the guy did not do anything bad. It is a problem within herself. Right? Okay. We are also not quarreling. They had no issues. That's what she's saying. We are two in the household. I am his second wife and I have been married to him since 2021. But I just hate when my man comes near me. I don't really know what is wrong with me. Even now that I am speaking to you, I don't really feel that I was the one who killed him. You see, you know why I find this interesting is it is a topic that a lot of our people will find it hard to digest. Because we have been brought up to say, you go to school, you this, you that, you grow up, you marry, you have children, and that's what society expects you to do. But there are some people that societal expectation is not their own personal life expectations and plans and goals for their lives. There are a lot of ladies that ended up getting married for the sake of, okay, let me just marry, that I will be counted among those that have fulfilled what society expects them to do. I shared my marriage story here. You know, I tried to make sure that I'm sharing my story. I didn't want to share somebody else's story. But let me tell you guys this, which I never shared in that story. The man in my story was in another relationship. And I shared in that story how that relationship came about. I shared that, right? But I was trying not to go too deep because that becomes another person's story. So I'm trying to make sure I don't share it in a way that I'm leaving my story and sharing somebody else's story. But from the way he explained that situation, when I read this story, that was the first thing that came to my mind. He was in a relationship, from the way he explained it, with a woman that was married because it's societal norm, but that woman didn't want to be married. That's what he explained to me. And there are some aspects of that relationship that it was just, okay, a man and a woman living together and all of that, but it was not a marriage in the real sense of it. I'm saying it here. And that relationship ended up ending. And all the kata whatever that followed it, right? Which I don't want to go into details, but I really want to share because there's somebody else right now. If you're a woman and you don't want to be married, do anybody out there a favor and don't get into it. You're a man, you don't want to be married. My mother has been complaining. There's one of my cousins that refused to be married. They are basically disturbing this guy. Money is not the problem. He is well educated, has a good job, well-to-do guy and everything. But he didn't want to be married. And they were disturbing this guy. Marry. What is wrong with you? This guy does not want to be married. Eventually, they forced the wife and gave him. He took. The story I'm hearing now is that the guy, the marriage is not marrying, if you know what I mean. He's facing his side, leaving the woman to face her side. I'm even hearing, that he doesn't even touch her. That the lady, they ask her, no, baby, no. The lady said the guy, no, they come near her by forced marriage. You don't have to be married to be fulfilled. Let those that want to be married be married. Jesus Christ said, no marry. Those of us with the claim Christianity, Jesus did not marry. Because the wahala that comes out of it, look at now, wouldn't it have been better if this lady stayed single and this poor man would have stayed alive? No part of the story she said the man forced her to marry. No part of it. He even said that the man did not treat her badly. But because of her personal problems that societal demands forced her to get into, is how an innocent man's life has ended. For what reason? Marriage is a beautiful thing, for those where it work out for. Because I always say it. Because you have problem in your marriage does not change the fact that there are some amazing marriages out there. Now your own, I know good. Always personalize and say, unfortunately, your own no good though. So person own no good, but there are some amazing marriages out there. You understand? At the same time, there are some people, it's time to marry, and they marry. After 2-3 years, you know that marriage, is not their calling, if I can put it like that. There are some women that are married, or even men, that got into the marriage and they still want to be acting like a single woman. In short, marriage is an oppression in their life because the kind of things they want to do, it does not fit on that marriage. They want to be free like a bird. And they go inside the marriage after some time. What do? They fly out. And they go back to the streets. While some people are on the street trying to find their way inside marriage, you find a woman that's already inside marriage. After a few years, to even be a mother is like too much wahala for them. They are not dedicated into being a mother for their children and all that is required. Because it's not more. It takes a lot of selflessness to be a parent. To say, I have needs, but my child's need comes first. I'll care for my children first. When I'm done, and then I sort myself out. Oh, my children need me more. I'm an adult. I can look after myself later. But there are some ladies that have married, and they are still putting themselves first. Not their children. They are not ready to make the motherly sacrifices. And men too. That they are already married though. They will not come home and say, crying child, this one, that one. Let me go and find girlfriend. So when they close from work, they go to girlfriend place to have a nap and eat isieu or whatever. Relax there. When they finish, they'll now go home and say, hey, this house with children, they're wahala. There are some men like that. They don't want the noise of children. They don't want this one. They don't want that one. They just want a single man life. But they marry because it's societal norm. Expectations. You get my point? So I'm coming back to this. When people think everybody must marry and must born, I don't understand why some people think that it's something everybody must do. It's not something everybody must do. It's something that those that want to do it should do it. There are some people that they could have done something amazing with their lives. But because of marriage, they feel held back. Some people do feel held back. There are some people that never had children, but they have. Mary Slessor, maybe they say she no marry. Mother Teresa, she was never married, and she spent her time caring for other people. Sometimes I sit back and think about other things I would have loved to do. That because I'm a mother, I'm focused as a mother to raise my children, to do it. But I say, if I didn't have children, whatever, I would have loved to do a lot of charity work. Personally, I would have loved to do. Especially when it comes to going to rural. I know we have our insecurity and all of those things, but I would have loved to be that kind of person. That even if I spend few months, like maybe even half of a year, I wouldn't mind that I do my nursing job for the first 6 months and use my salary, go to one remote village somewhere and, care for the old and the dying and care for people in their homes with my nursing skill. I believe it's something rewarding that somebody can do. No, I'm being honest, that I'm thinking sometimes that if there was a second life, let me tell you why I think if there's a second life, if I have to redo it, why would I have children? When I think about the fact that this world we're in is we're just here to live and die and then repeat. Another group of people come and repeat and die. And that what is life at the end of the day? Honestly, I begin to think about it. And I'm, as a parent, I'm that kind of parent that I always worry about my children. Like, okay, you're going to school. Where are you going to be? When are you going to come back? And, to think that one day, I too, will leave this world and leave them behind. It's something that I think sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have brought them. I'm being honest with you guys. Maybe I shouldn't have brought them here. Because I know that sometimes I think about how would they be even like in the many, many years, no matter what, when I go, would they be okay? I'm that kind of parent. I worry too much for my children. Do you know what I mean? But I think to myself, if I didn't have children, I'll have nobody to worry about when that time comes. I'm being honest. So marriage is a beautiful thing, but I think about that other aspect of it. I'm like, you know, it would have been nice if I could dedicate my time and my life to, you know, do these other things. But as a mother with children, sometimes I can't just get up and say, okay, I'm going to, you know, blah, 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 and leave them. No, I still want to be there to guide them and make sure they're okay and all of those things. So I'm just saying all these things to just throw light to different ways somebody's life can be of value without producing children into the world. And we're hoping that at least some people can get the message. Let's stop stigmatizing people that didn't get married, especially women. Our culture doesn't stigmatize men that much, but they stigmatize women, or girls or ladies that didn't get married. It's not something that everybody must do. Some people are in it and they are frustrated in it. Marriage is not more. Those that even want to go into marriage, some are struggling, not to talk of those that do not want it. So I hope her story can make some people think and rethink this idea of making everybody feel like you must marry. If you don't marry, you are a failure. If you don't, you know what I mean? If there was no such a pressure on this lady that she will even go home, my parents will send her back. If such a pressure did not exist, that poor man would be alive today. Was it worth it at the end of the day? Was it? Now the guy is gone. The lady, by forced marriage, she's going to be arrested. I mean, she's going to be locked up. I mean, then who's going to look after that child? What is the gain at the end of the day? That's basically what I want to share. Hopefully with time, our minds will begin to change and I will begin to stop this mentality of making everybody feel like they must marry, they must marry, they must marry. Anyways, I saw that story and I wanted to share with you guys. As always, this is my opinion about it. And as always, whatever your opinions are, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.